ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another edition of our favorite show, and hopefully yours too, Attack of the Back. So even though I'm setting my watch, I still had time to do the fist. Always got time for the fist. Alright, so the schedule release came out a couple days ago, but we're not going to talk about that today because we got too much other shit to do because we're lazy and didn't shoot last week. So we're going to jump straight into mock drafts. Joe didn't have time to make one, so it's just mine. I got one straight up, pick by pick, no trades, and then I got one with trades and interesting selections and things like that. And Dodgel is going to give commentary on what he thinks. So we're going to get straight into this because we got Froyo after this. Get shit moving. By the way, you got a Gmail account and you haven't done so yet, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Them viewers. Besides, if you subscribe, you get to know whenever we post another video. You'll get automatically updated. Or find us on Facebook. Facebook.com/AOFPS. I think. Joe, check the back of the shirt. Is that right?
AOFPS.
Yes, AOFPS. Merchandise. Alright, so we're going to start with straight up. Number 1, Tampa Bay, going with the obvious pick, Jameis Winston. Number 2, Tennessee Titans. I think they stay with Zach. Go roll with Zach. They go Leonard Williams. Number 3, Jacksonville Jaguars. Get the much mocked Dante Fowler Jr. Number 4, Oakland Raiders. They get Derek Carr some support, Amari Cooper. Washington Redskins. They get some pass rush and 1 Vic Beasley. New York Jets go out and they get Geno Smith, that final piece that he possibly could need to finally be productive, Kevin White. So you got Marshall, White, and Eric Decker. That is who they have, right? Eric Decker? Yeah. All right. Chicago Bears, trump card, Marcus Mariota. Screw Jay Cutler. John Fox's hands were pretty much tied when he had to roll with Cutler this year. But not next year. Alright, 8, Atlanta. I'm throwing a wild card in here. Todd Gurley. Georgia boy. Dude looks like the next Adrian Peterson. Does scare me, however, that he wears number 3 and comes from an SEC school. Last guy that did that, Trent Richardson. But he's faster than Trent and looks more agile than Trent, so hopefully not the same case. New York Giants, solidify offensive line, taking the best offensive line prospect, Brandon Scherf. St. Louis Rams, fortify that back end, Janoris Jenkins, pairing with Michigan State's Trey Waynes. Minnesota Vikings, they pair Teddy Bridgewater with his college receiver, Devontae Parker. Cleveland Browns pick up the possible wrecking ball in Danny Shelton. New Orleans Saints, despite Randy Gregory calling them a boring city, the Saints pick him anyway at 13. Miami Dolphins pick up some cornerback help because other than Brent Grimes, can you name a Miami Dolphins cornerback? They pick up cornerback help in Marcus Peters. San Francisco 49ers, they also need cornerback help because all theirs are gone. So,
everything.
Jalen Collins for the San Francisco 49ers at 15. Houston Texans pick up Eric Armstead. I know they just got Vince Wilfork, but let's be honest, that's going to be a short-term thing. San Diego Chargers, they get La'el Collins, arguably, depending on who you ask, best tackle in the draft. So they get him, help solidify that offensive line, because he can also play guard. All right, Kansas City Chiefs, wild card, Doyle Green Beckham. A lot of people say late first, but damn, they need somebody to get some touchdowns. They got Jeremy Maclin, but if Macklin's covered every damn play, who else is Alex Smith's going to throw to? Throws to DGB. DGB. Sounds like a Russian mobster or something. Alright, moving on. Cleveland Browns, second pick. They get some wide receiver help. They get Rashad Perriman. Philadelphia Eagles take Mike Mayock's best safety. Also went to PHS here in Pensacola, Florida. Let's give it up for Demarius Randall out of Arizona State. Once again, Mike Mayock's best safety on the board, above Landon Collins. Cincinnati Bengals, Bud Dupree slid all this way. He's not going to slide any further. Cincinnati picks him up and tries to get some more pass rush help because their pass rush wasn't too good last year. It was average. Pittsburgh Steelers are happy to stay where they are. They land Landon Collins, Troy Polamalu's replacement, hopefully. The Detroit Lions, you just lost Nick Fairley, you just lost Ndamukong Suh, Malcolm Brown from Texas. That'll help soften the blow. I know you got Nada, but now you got, that's once again a short-term solution. So moving on, Arizona Cardinals, they pick up the Swiss Army knife, the Swiss Army knife of defensive players in Shaq Thompson. Is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? Is he a running back? Who the hell knows? But they could arguably use help at all three. Then you go to Carolina. They get DJ Humphries. They need some offensive line help to support Cam Newton and keep him upright. So hopefully he's not running around with broken ribs and torn hamstrings or whatever the else hell he had. I know he had rib problems, and I think he had like an ankle sprain or something. The best way to get Cam Newton to be productive is keep his ass healthy. Moving on, Baltimore Ravens. They also go offensive line. They get Eric Flowers tackle out of Miami. Once again, take the Dallas approach, build that road grade and offensive line, give Joe Flacco time, make it to where anybody in that scheme, granted they were already successful last year and you had Justin Forsett. But if you get a better running back, as we all know, I think we can all agree that Justin Forsett was probably a one-year wonder, probably not going to have too many more 1,000-yard seasons. I mean, hell, he's already like 9 years in the league or something like that. I mean, you don't have your first 1,000-yard season that late into your career and go on to have them on a regular basis. Dallas fans out there probably been waiting for this one. They get Melvin Gordon at 27. The Denver Broncos pick up nose tackle Jordan Phillips to help fill the hole of Terrence Knighton. Indianapolis Colts, they have a history of taking suspect prospects or prospects with size or experience problems. Well, that continues when they take Shane Ray. The guy has a motor to match anyone or rival anyone, but they say he lacks pass rush skills. It seems like a Colts pick. Green Bay Packers, they pick up Kevin Johnson, cornerback out of Wake Forest. And for anyone who says we need a middle linebacker desperately that bad, guess what? None of them are rated worth the first-round pick per Mike Mayock, and I agree with the man. None of them look that solid, that caliber. So we will wait until later in the draft. All right, New Orleans Saints, they pick up a weapon to help soften the Jimmy Graham blow, even though they are looking to go ground and pound. They still need some offensive weapons. Marcus Colston getting old. They got rid of Kenny Stills. I give them Nelson Aguilar from USC. And lastly, we had New England Patriots. They lost Brandon Browner. They lost Darrelle Revis. Byron Jones, the UConn kid. He's probably a second-round pick, but run on corners. Corners are becoming a premium position with the elevation of the passing league. So they're going to get overdrafted. Just like running backs are oftentimes getting underdrafted. I mean, Eddie Lacy probably should have been a first-round pick, but we got him in the second. I mean, the same with Le'Veon Bell. I mean, these guys produce. But, anyways, point is, boom, there is the straight-up first-round mock. Joe, any criticisms, any insight, any questions, anything?
Jarrett's pick was epic.
Yeah. They'd be mighty lucky if Mariota lasts that long, but in all honesty, now when I was making this, I took into account like, kind of like best player available, but also best player that also matches their need. I mean, if you're like Green Bay and you got like a franchise quarterback, you're not, and let's say by and far, Bryce Petty's on the board, and he's the best quarterback, he's the best player left on the board by far. We're not going to be picking Bryce Petty.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you want to go BPA, but, to a certain degree. I mean, you can't get too far down, otherwise you just start building, like, massive holes. But, yeah, I mean, that was pretty much my thinking. It was kind of best player available, but also best player available that would also fill at least a need or a somewhat need. So,
Pretty solid to me. Threw a couple curveballs in there.
all right, speaking of curveballs, get ready for a slew of them. Because we're going from what I call straight up to chaos. Seriously. See, right here, title, right up there. Probably can't see it, but yeah. It says with chaos. There's all kinds of shit be gonna go down in this one. Alright.
Hi.
And we got it from the opening bell. Because Tampa Bay is not picking number 1 overall. No. They trade spots with the Oakland Raiders. Why? Because the Raiders don't think Tennessee's going to take Marcus Mariota. They think they're going to take Leonard Williams. But Oakland wants Leonard Williams. With the addition of Crabtree, they feel okay not picking a wide receiver in the first round. They desperately want Leonard Williams to really just build a nasty defense. Leonard Williams and Khalil Mack. So they traded with Tampa. They get Leonard Williams pick number 1. The Titans, their man's gone. Leonard Williams is gone, so guess who comes in? Another trade. Boom. San Diego Chargers. Who are they getting? Marcus Mariota. Phillip Rivers, last year of his contract, won't re-sign until he's definitely sure that San Diego is staying in San Diego. But there's a lot of speculation they moved to LA. They moved to LA. Phillip Rivers isn't going to want to re-sign. Better have that safety net in play, because one thing that it is imperative that you have is that quarterback with at least average play or better. Squeaky toys, folks.
Dodge.
All right. So, they can't afford to not have that quarterback. Jacksonville Jaguars, they're still picking at 3. They still pick Dante Fowler Jr. All right, so the Buccaneers are now at pick 4. Originally the Raiders pick. Guess what? They still get their man, Jameis Winston. Washington Redskins, nothing changes at 5 with Vic Beasley. New York Jets get Amari Cooper instead of Kevin White, which actually probably better fits what they do. Eric Decker has gotten used to being an outside guy. Brandon Marshall is an outside guy. Amari Cooper can come in, he can run outside, he can run the slot. Kevin White is more of a perimeter player. So instead of having like 3 perimeter players now, but arguably Eric Decker could slide inside. But I digress. Moving on. With Marcus Mariota not there anymore, Chicago Bears go and set up the future of the offense, which is obviously not Jay Cutler, with Kevin White. Pair him with Alshon Jeffries. It maintains that tower on the outside. Hey! Man! Trying to shoot a show over here! Fucking animal!
He doesn't care.
Alright, so number 8, the Atlanta Falcons. They choose Randy Gregory, pass rush. I wanted to just do something different, and they said, fuck it, we don't care about the marijuana. We're taking him anyway. New York Giants, they go the other side of the line. They go Danny Shelton. St. Louis Rams, they get Nick Foles, or whoever they eventually have to be their quarterback, a little bit more help in Devontae Parker. Hopefully gives him that true number 1 target. Minnesota Vikings, Devontae Parker's not there, so guess what? They pick Trey Waynes. Little flip-flop of previous picks there. So they pick Trey Waynes, pair him opposite of Xavier Rhodes, and then you got the Josh kid from, I think, UCF in the slot, or the nickel corner, rather. All right. Cleveland Browns, they stay defensive tackle. They get Malcolm Brown. New Orleans Saints, Randy Gregory's gone. Fuck it, we're taking Shane Ray. Just cause. Fuck it. Miami Dolphins, they go offensive line. They get the best offensive lineman on the board. Brandon Scherf. Yeah, they're locked down with Brandon Albert and Juwan James at tackle, but Scherf projects as a guard in the NFL. Possibly some spot tackle if you need be. But, I mean, you got Pouncey in there at one side, but on the other side, on the left side, they could use another guard unless Pouncey plays the left side. I'm not sure which side he plays. But opposite of Pouncey, I mean, you got Mike Pouncey, Brandon Scherf, Brandon Albert, Juwan James. I don't know who the hell they got for center, but those 4 names sound pretty good. All right. So then we move on to Houston Texans. Let's go out. Skip the San Francisco 49ers. They get Eric Armstead. Justin Smith, if he ain't retiring now, he's retiring soon.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if Eric Armstead is a defensive tackle or defensive end, but fuck it, you can use that big-ass body somehow. All right, Houston Texans, they need somebody to replace that Andre Johnson. What better than Brashad Perriman, tall, lanky, super fast, downfield threat. Ryan Mallett at quarterback. Dude's got a cannon of an arm. He can chuck it downfield if they decide to go with Ryan Mallett, that is. Moving on to the Tennessee Titans pick, who's now pick at 17 via the Chargers' old pick and the trade. They get Lael Collins, help out with that offensive line. Try to get a franchise tackle in that one. The Cleveland Browns,
Kansas.
Wait. They trade, yes, the Cleveland Browns trade with the Chiefs. I had to figure out what I was doing. So the Cleveland Browns trade spots with the Chiefs at 18. They pick up DGB. So either way, it's going at 18. DGB is being picked at 18. But no, they go out and they give whoever the hell's quarterback and somebody to throw to. Guy, you can just jump ball, Randy Moss type guy. Next we have Okay, so the Browns' old pick was 19. It was traded to the Chiefs, but the Chiefs trade out of that again. And Pittsburgh jumps ahead of Philadelphia. They think Philadelphia's got a needed safety, and they're worried Philadelphia might pick Landon Collins. So they jump ahead of Philadelphia, and they land Landon Collins at 19. Philadelphia sticks at 20. They take Nelson Aguilar because, I mean, who you really fear on that? On that Philadelphia Eagles wide receiving core. Yeah, exactly. All right, so next we have the Bengals pick at 21, but they trade out. Carolina comes in, all right, ahead of Kansas City, because Kansas City, mind you, has had some offensive line troubles. They picked, I want to say it was Eric something, number 1 overall a couple years back, and he ain't been looking too good. Looking kind of shiny. They could be looking to replace him with a tackle. Well, guess what? Carolina needs a tackle. So they want to make sure they get their man. They jump ahead of Kansas City at 22. They trade up with the Bengals, who were at 21, to get DJ Humphries. Kansas City, via the trade with Pittsburgh, then takes Marcus Peters to get some help on the back end. Detroit Lions, they take center Cam Irving. I figured they could use a center that's not going to stomp on people and get penalties. So, fuck that guy you got. Put in Cam Irving. Arizona Cardinals, everybody knows they need a running back desperately. They finally get one with Melvin Gordon. All right, now the Panthers' original pick was 25. The Bengals traded into that pick, but they're trading out of that pick. Dallas comes in. Get ready, Cowboy fans, because Todd Gurley is coming to town. You got Darren McFadden to hold down the fort early if Todd Gurley can't go. But once the man-child comes in, all hell breaks loose. And I set upon you the blazing wheels of Todd Gurley will wreck shop over most defenses. All right, moving on. All right, so at pick 26, Baltimore stays put. They get Bud Dupree. Now, I know what you think. They already got Terrell Suggs. They got Courtney Upshaw. They got Elvis Dumerville. Why would they go get another pass rusher? Well, for one, it being a passing league, you can never have too many pass rushers. All right. 2, Terrell Suggs has been in the league a while. Elvis Dumerville has been in the league even more while.
Yeah.
The only young gun they got is Courtney Upshaw, and he's not that great. He's useful, but he's not a star or a stud. If this Bud Dupree fellow works out and becomes a stud, then hey, you got something special. All right, moving on.
Where's your faith in T. Sizzle, man?
I got faith that he'll be good while he's still around, but the dude's getting old.
Age is just a number.
It is a number that catches us all. Alright, so now finally the Cincinnati Bengals at pick 27, the Cowboys' original pick. They finally make a selection, and they go with the nose tackle Jordan Phillips. Domata Pico has been falling off. They need something to help get things going. Boom, nose tackle who's nasty. Only problem is, does he take plays off? Maybe. Alright. Denver Broncos, they pick tackle Andres Pete out of Stanford. Like I said, it's not all about shit. It's not all about trades and whatnot. Okay, moving on. Indianapolis Colts, they tend to like FSU players that make mistakes, so Eddie Goldman for them. The Green Bay Packers, guess what? They're not picking. Cleveland trades in, comes in the back of the first round. Green Bay says, fuck it, we're going to go get our linebacker in the second. They get Bryce Petty. Boom, Cleveland. Oh, hello, fuck City. All right, New Orleans Saints, they pick, boom, Max Williams.